Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Enhancing the Human Experience, the podcast designed to help you get the most out of life. So are you ready for the eclipse? By the time this show airs, I'm sure the eclipse will be well past, since I usually publish these in the evening of Mondays. But I hope you've seen lots of eclipses and have got your fill of eclipses. I know it's like all the rage right now. I'll probably step outside and see it. I'm not like overly concerned about it. Even though I think astronomy is awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong. Staring up at a starry night is like akin to like looking into the soul, right? It's like so overwhelming and so powerful. But this whole eclipse mania is like freaking me out a little bit. But anyway, so in this episode of the show, it's all about doubt. There will be doubt. If you're moving toward a goal or a dream that is quote unquote a stretch goal, right? You're going to run into some doubt and internal resistance, and you're going to want to stop, and you're going to want to turn around, and you're going to want to go back to the comfort zone from which you came, right? We've all been there. And I'm going to share with you a handful of ideas and tools to push through the doubt and keep going and moving toward the destination or outcome you've set for yourself, because that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to get out of our comfort zone and set outrageous, audacious goals and move toward them. And that's when life really starts to get good, when we're on the edge of our comfort zone or way outside of our comfort zone, and we have no idea what the heck we're doing or what we're doing there. We just know there was something driving us to do this, right? And we're building our soul strength, and we're building our karmic energy, right? And we're moving past all of the fear, doubt, anxiety, and worry that most of us live in quite a bit of the time, right? That's ultimately why we're here. So I think these tools, I've used them all the time. I think they're really helpful, really valuable, and they can help you push through the doubt, fear, anxiety that you experience when you move toward a goal. Before we get into the show, I just want to do some housekeeping type stuff, announcements of some of the projects that I've got coming online fairly quickly. And the first of which is called the PDJ. It is the simplest, most effective personal development journal on the planet. Now, I realize that's a super tall claim, right? But I stand by it. This is something I've been working on for quite some time and using my own self. And the PDJ is really all about developing your consciousness, essentially. And it even goes into addressing some of the doubt, addressing some of the self-worth issues, the I am enough or I am not enough issues that we all face as we just life in general, right? That just happens to us in life in general. So it's really built upon helping you take the actions that will ultimately produce the goal or desired outcome you want. Because when we develop ourselves, the goal of personal development, when we develop ourselves, is then we can take actions that move us closer to our goals and dreams in life. The personal development I look at as a means to an end. It's not the end in itself, although it is in a sense, right? Personal development is an end in itself in a very real sense. But when we live in the world, we live in the material world, we live in the physical world here, we want things. We want to achieve things. We want to have things. We want to have nice homes and cars and vacations and things. And all those occur when we develop ourselves so that we can take the actions necessary to get those things. And so in that sense, personal development is a means to that end. I'm not going to deny material pleasures or physical pleasures, because we need those things. We're both spiritual and physical beings, and I think when we deny the physical aspect of ourselves, a part of us dies and we lose a little bit of our essence, and I don't think it's right to do that. So the Personal Development Journal is a simple one-step exercise done in the morning or in the evening. I like to do mine in the morning, where you spend a few minutes. You can spend as much or as little time as you want doing this one exercise, building within yourself the confidence, the ability, and the ideas of what you want to be, do, and have in life. So it's really about helping you embody those ideas. I'm really excited about it. Look for it to be coming in the next couple of weeks. I'm almost done. The website is being worked on right now. I'm building that up as we go. So I'm excited about that component. A couple other projects that are coming online. The Alchemy of Despair book, the print version, is coming up very quickly. I've got the proof here. I'm making some minor changes and adjustments. I've had it on my desk for a couple of weeks here, actually about 3 or 4 weeks now, and I'm getting ready to get that finalized and published. Also, Just Be It. That book, the print version of that, is coming out too. These are small little 5x8 versions, super easy for packing in your day pack or putting in your, car, just cruising around town. So I want them to be kind of compact and kind of easy to access. So those are coming online. Those are some of the things that I've been working on, and a couple of other projects that are too far out to even announce at this point, but all designed to help you get the most out of life and help you develop yourself, right? That's what we're all doing. That's one of the things that I love to do, is take my design type background and build tools for personal development, because I like that a lot. I find that when we develop ourselves, so much good things happens to us. So let's get into the show today. There will be doubt. You're pushing toward a goal and dream. You're going to have it. You're going to have doubt, and you're going to experience some doubt. So I'm going to share with you a handful of tools and ideas to keep in mind and keep in your bag of tricks as you work toward the goal you've set for yourself. The idea for this podcast came to me based on the movie There Will Be Blood. Have you seen this movie where the entrepreneur, oil driller, goes out and makes his fortune and makes a huge impact in the world by drilling oil wells? And in that movie, when you're doing something like that, there's going to be some blood. And there's a lot of blood. And it gets a little weird sometimes. And he has some demons inside of him, as we all do, and it gets a little crazy, but there's a lot to learn from that movie as any of us push toward our goal and dream. So that's where the idea for this podcast, this episode, came about, from the movie There Will Be Blood. So as you're moving toward your goal or dream, you're going to run into resistance. It's the internal resistance that Stephen Pressfield talks extensively about. Jose Silva talked about it in his book, The Silva Mind Control Method, and built his system around that. A lot of people have talked about it. They may call it different things, but it's the resistance. There's a force that literally pushes against you as you move toward your goals and dreams. It pushes against all of us. And finding ways to overcome and get through and get past and around this force and keep pushing is vital to realizing a goal or dream, because otherwise the force is so strong it will actually stop you in your tracks and you won't make any headway. So these ideas, these tools, I've found to be helpful in my own experience, and I think you will too. The first one is remembering your why. Remember why you started. You started down this path for a reason. And like most people, they're seeking something better for themselves. They're seeking better experiences, better opportunities, a better way of life. And so remembering your why is absolutely huge when the resistance and the doubt creeps in. Remember your why, write them down, carry them around in your pocket, make lists. I keep in some of my journals lists of my whys, and they're multiple whys, right? And you'll realize new whys all the time, every day. They'll come into your consciousness and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's a why I'm doing this, because you're going to need them at some point in time. So keep the whys in your journal. Along with the whys, there's the ultimate why. And this is something that is beneath the surface of everything we do for material gain, the better experiences, a better way of life. There's what I call like the cosmic why, or the soul why, which is the polishing of our soul, the betterment of our karmic body, for lack of a better word. And that's something that most of us really won't understand in this lifetime, but it's very real and carries with us. So whatever we do here in the material plane in this lifetime will carry with us into future lifetimes, and we may never know the repercussions of that, and who knows, right? I think some people do. But it's the underlying purpose of why we're here, to overcome the mind, to overcome that fear, doubt, anxiety that is prevalent in the human experience, and really take control of our mind. And that's something that the payoff is absolutely infinite, but most of us will never really see it because it's like beneath the surface, and it's both subtle and immense at the same time, and it has ramifications for all areas of our life, but it's not something we can see a direct correlation with most of the time, but it is very real. All sages and saints and yogis talk about it, the notion of doing the thing we fear despite all of the resistance that we face, basically for the cosmic payoff, right? For our soul's evolution. So that's the underlying why that most of us don't see. The second tool that I find very helpful is a list of the pain that will come if you don't pursue your goal or dream and you don't attain it, and the pleasure that will come if you do attain it. This is mixing up a potent cocktail that will motivate you like nobody's business. A lot of people are less motivated by pleasurable experiences than they are with painful experiences. Even scientific studies have proven this. I know for myself this is a factor. I'll do a lot more if I'm under impending pain than I will for pleasure, and that's just because I think us in the Western world here, we have a high standard of living. We got a lot of pleasure all around us, and we've come to take it for granted, quite frankly. And so it doesn't have the motivation that it does for other people. You see people coming here from other countries, foreign countries, and they work their tail off. They take nothing for granted that most Westerners, most Americans take for granted. They'll work day and night. They'll do anything they need to do, and they have a huge amount of drive and to succeed. And guess what? They succeed big because they don't take it for granted. They don't take the pleasurable life we have here for granted. And so remembering the pain that will come if you do not reach your goal can get you out of bed at night. It'll make you work all night. It'll make you push through any kind of fear and resistance, but it has to be in your consciousness at all time. And that's, again, why I recommend writing down these ideas on a sheet of paper so that you can carry them with you and pull them out when you're having doubt, because it will get your booty back into gear and cause you to move forward again. So it's hugely powerful. Make a list of the pain you will experience if you don't do it or don't realize your goal, and the pleasure you will get if you do realize your goal, and keep that with you. So that's the second tool. The third tool to help you push through the doubt is simplest and maybe most powerful of all. It is remembering that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you deserve to realize your goal or dream. There's an overwhelming prevalence in human consciousness of lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, and that keeps people stuck living the same experiences over and over again because they don't feel they're worthy or they don't feel they're good enough for realizing their goal or dream. And part of the process of the PDJ is to remember this every single day. It's what I call like the core exercise. And it basically goes through and addresses self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, self-discipline, because we have to have that foundation in order to do you have to have that foundation in order to do your specific goal or dream, right? Everyone has a different goal, but all of us need the foundation of I am enough, I am deserving, I am worthy, and I am ready to do the thing that I'm designing or defining for myself. I'm ready to go get this goal or dream. So remembering that you're enough, and again, writing it down, carrying it in your pocket, putting it somewhere you can see every day, is vital to realizing your goal or dream and pushing through the doubt. So those are three tools that I find very helpful in helping you get through doubt. There's really a fourth one that, well, it's not really a tool. It's more of an idea to remember about doubt. In my experience, doubt happens when you're focusing too much on the outcome and not enough on the process itself. If you focus on the process, there's no time for doubt because your mind and your practice is fully consumed with being the best at your craft, at your process right now in the present moment. And there's no room for doubt then. You're totally focused on the process itself and improving yourself, which will in turn bring you the results that you want. In my experience, doubt only creeps in when you look at where you're at and look at where you're going, and the distance seems far. And what we need to do is totally forget about our goal. We set our goal and then we release it. Once we know where we're going, focusing on where we're going will only bring us heartache and suffering when we look at it in relationship and comparison to where we're at. And that's a huge pitfall in this whole notion of realizing your goals and dreams in life. So the kind of bonus takeaway here is to realize when you're experiencing doubt, that's happening because you're not focusing enough on the next step and the next step and the next step in your present journey, and refining your process and doing the best craft that you can right now, and making tunnel vision to this present moment. All the suffering in life comes from comparing where we're at to where we think we should be, or where we're at to where our friends are at. Though that's a recipe, that's like the number one recipe for suffering in life. And it really sucks because it doesn't help us. When we're focusing on that, we're not doing what we should be doing in the present moment, and we're getting further behind, if we can talk about it in that way, further behind our process and our goal. So I find that really helpful. Shifting your mindset and catching yourself when you're experiencing doubt. Why am I doubtful? And why am I comparing where I'm at to where I think I should be? Because where you're at is where you're at. It's all the name of the game, moving forward at the pace that you're at. So I hope those have been helpful. I find them to be really valuable in my own experience. And that's the show. If you like the show, it'd be super awesome if you would give it a like on whatever venue you're listening to this on, whether it's a podcast app, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or even on YouTube. I post these up on YouTube. That would be awesome. And share it with someone who you think might benefit. Until next time, all the best, health, wealth, and success. Thanks so much.